Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for a preview of the new linklearning.org. My name is Rachel Zanes, Vice President of Communications for the Alliance. And on today's tour, I'll be providing a brief overview of the site, and we'll highlight numerous opportunities for engagement. I'll then be handing things over to Megan Crowley, who will walk you through the site navigation and user experience. Megan is with the Williams Group and is brilliant and fantastic and led the development of our new site. Before we get started, I just wanted to go through a couple of housekeeping rules. One, we have only invited a very select group of key partners to this walkthrough, and really would very much like this walkthrough to be interactive. So you can use the question function, the chat function, to share your thoughts or questions with the panelists with us at any time. If the panel is minimized, just click on the arrow on top to expand it, type your note, and then press send. And we'll be watching this space throughout the session, and we'll address as many comments as we can. And then toward the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A time when you can ask questions or offer comments on the site via phone. We'll let you know when it's time to raise your hand. And then you can click the hand icon with the green arrow to do it, and we'll call on you and unmute your line. So if we want to go to the next slide. This is a really important milestone for the Alliance and the Link Learning movement as a whole. Not only is the website a new tool to share the Alliance's work, but we're really also hoping and viewing it as a hub for the Link Learning movement, and really hope that you'll view it that way too. This is why we wanted to bring the small group together, close partners and district leaders, before announcing the launch of the site. So here you'll see a summary of the timeline for the site and where we are today. You're all especially important to the ongoing continuous improvement piece, and we want to ensure that the site meets your needs, and we're very open to feedback, resource additions, and other contributions, which we'll go over today. Also down the road, we'll be offering some opportunities for user testing to ensure that the site is continuing to support your link learning efforts. Do you want to go to the next slide? As many of you know, it's the Alliance's ultimate goal to build demand for link learning as a proven equity-centered approach for college and career preparation for all students in California and nationwide. Next slide. And communications and the new site play a key role in advancing our progress toward that goal. So when we built the site, we had several key goals in mind. One, we wanted to create a space for all the research showing the evidence behind link learning and make it easily accessible. Also, while the quantitative piece is critical, we know that in order to move people to action, it takes hearts and minds, and that's why we also wanted to build something where we could share stories of impact. And then three, given all of the educators, districts, and community partners involved in link learning, we wanted to create a hub where your efforts could be elevated. Next slide. We also wanted to create a platform where relevant, timely information could be updated and shared with the field on an ongoing basis, with a particular emphasis really on encouraging adoption and a focus on quality and enhancement of link learning pathways. And of course, we want to equip everyone who's in a position to become involved with link learning with the tools and resources that they need to do so. Next slide. In addition to our goals, our understanding of key audiences also help us really map out the site. So we want this to be a place where key stakeholders ranging from K-12 leaders to employers to students, families can easily go to understand what link learning is, why it's important, get the specific information they're looking for, and engage in a call to action, which are different for each audience. Next slide. All of these goals and target audiences really led us to the development of the site, which you'll get a feel for here and which Megan will walk you through shortly. Next slide. Most importantly, we wanted to build a site that brought together all the disparate platforms and served as a hub for all things link learning. So this includes linking certification and data mart, which are largely practitioner tools, with advocacy and movement building tools like news and events and our blog. Next slide. The site also brings together SRI research and other relevant research on the impacts of linked learning, communication tools developed by the Alliance, and down the road, hopefully, we'd like to be including more resources from districts and schools and pathways across the linked learning movement. as well as video content, because we really want to be showing, not only telling the story of linked learning. Next slide. You'll also see here, the Alliance recently updated the site to include photography, capturing your teachers, pathway leaders, and students from our leading districts. So our districts with gold certified pathways. It was really important for us to show visually how linked learning has evolved to meet emerging economic and community needs, as well as the technological advancements, while staying true to connecting learning and making it real and relevant to students, their interests and aspirations. And we'll also, this was just an initial, these are our initial photos. We'll be updating this. So if you don't see your district reflected in here, don't worry. And of course, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll make sure that we want to make sure that all of, especially our gold certified districts, are represented here on the site. We'll also next slide. So most importantly, we truly want the site to elevate your amazing work, your efforts to transform college and career preparation. So this site includes a blog where we welcome contributions and ideas for. And if you have a blog, if you have an idea for a blog, or maybe a voice from your district or your community that you want to elevate, but maybe don't have time to write it, let us know. Please, reach out to me and let me know, because we that's what the Alliance is here to do, to help tell the story of linked learning, and we are always happy to support in that way. We'll also be doing work on, we'll be working on much more intentional efforts around elevating student, teacher, and community voice. We all know that these are really, some of the most powerful testaments to communicating the value of linked learning, the value of implementing it at quality, and how it drives greater educational and economic opportunity. And we'll also be highlighting news from the field. So if you have announcements, news coverage, or news pieces on your district sites, or anything that's relevant, we would love to feature that here. And we'll also be, as we're getting more content, as we're collecting these pieces, especially from the field, we will be doing ongoing emails, so notifying people of updates to the website, of updated new content, updated resources. Because we really want this to be of value to all of you, in addition to elevating the work of the Alliance. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Megan to do a quick walkthrough of the site, and she'll be also highlighting some other opportunities for engagement.
Thanks, Rachel, and hello, everyone. Bear with me just a moment as we switch our screens to the live linklearning.org. So we are going to start with the homepage. Again, linklearning.org. Note that this URL is unchanged from the previous site. So if you have any materials that you have linking to the website, all of those will still be valid. No need to go through and scrub with a new website domain name. The main navigation provides an overview of the entire site. So I will start by walking through that briefly before diving into the individual pages. Under the About, this drop-down section at the top of the page, you can learn about the linked learning approach. That's how it works, why it matters, and where it's being implemented across the United States today. You can also learn more about the Alliance and the Alliance team, the staff and board, the people behind the work between all of those pages. Under Impact, we share a roll-up of student outcomes data. These are essentially the proof points that linked learning works. This is a great page to reference when you're looking for the latest findings on student achievement and persistence. The Get Involved dropdown provides access to custom landing pages for each of the stakeholder groups Rachel mentioned earlier. If you know a parent or educator who's interested in learning more about linked learning, this is where to send them. We'll walk through one of these pages in detail in just a bit. Under Resources, you'll find certification, including standards for both silver and gold, analytics, and a comprehensive resource library with research, reference materials, and multimedia. We'll also do a deep dive on this page today. You can visit the news section to find the latest updates and perspectives from the Alliance, as well as linked learning related news from across the field. And finally, Contact Us provides easy access to the Alliance team. And if you need help finding anything, The site-wide search function provides instant results. Now that we're oriented to the site, let's dive in. You've probably noticed the new photography at the top of the homepage. Throughout the site, as Rachel mentioned, we have real Link Learning students and educators bringing Link Learning to life. As we scroll through the page, you'll see how modular the site is. All pages on the website are designed to provide quick bites of information with opportunity to go deeper if you'd like to learn more or take action. First-time visitors can learn more about Link Learning, the research behind it, and find opportunities to get involved. The blue tiles that you'll see here link to the same pages in the Get Involved menu. These pages are designed to help key stakeholder groups, including those of you on the phone today, find all of the most pertinent information and resources in one place. I'm going to walk through the employer page today, and I invite you to explore this whole section when time allows. We also welcome any suggestions that you might have after you do so. So clicking through to the employer partner page, all of the audience pages follow a similar format. They begin by putting Link Learning in context. For employers, this means developing the workforce of tomorrow. As they scroll through the page, employers can find benefits to getting involved with Link Learning and reasons why Link Learning students are the very best young people to bring into their organizations. We all know they have relevant 21st century skills, which fit into a wide range of industries and business practices. We've sprinkled stories, quotes, and examples throughout the site to demonstrate Link Learning in action. Here you see a video featuring a health pathway partnership in Oakland, and we hope to feature many of you here in the future. As Rachel mentioned, we are hungry for your on-the-ground experiences and perspectives, and hope you will share materials for us to feature on this page and others throughout the site in the future. Each audience page ends with opportunities to get involved and an alliance contact who is ready to help. As everyone on this call knows, Link Learning is all about the power of plus. More partners and more engagement helps us all do our work better. As mentioned before, we hope you will view these audience pages as resources, not just for their intended audiences, but for you as well. Please feel free to share these pages with your potential partners and to use the messaging and imagery here in your own communications. And speaking of resources, let's peek at the resource library next. The resource library is in many ways the heart of the website. Here you'll find research, stories, and tools of all stripes to help further your work and share the benefit of Link Learning with others. On first arrival, the page displays all resources in chronological order. The first result is a recording of a webinar we held just last week. And scrolling down the page, you'll find recently launched certification standards, as well as other fact sheets and overview documents. If you are looking for something more specific, the filters at the top of the page are your friends. You can first select a type of resource, be it research, curriculum and instruction, or webinars, or you can search by topic, certification, equity, work-based learning, and more. If you select any one of these filters, the page will reload with those specific results at the top of the page. As you see here, selecting that filter generated a result of five resources. Once you've discovered what you're looking for, you can either download the resource directly or use the share function to pass it along to others. And you can do that via social media platform or email. And it's also important to note that the materials shared in the resource library are not just from the Alliance, but they're aggregated from across the field. We hope you will help us add to it in time. If you have tools, templates, or stories that can benefit other Link Learning practitioners and partners, we would love to feature them. Next up, let's explore another highly active section of the website, which is the news. We hope that you will frequent the Alliance blogs to stay up to date on important learnings and news from the Alliance. As you'll see here, recent posts cover upcoming events, including the Link Learning Institute this March, save the date, And we can also see upcoming Gold Pathway celebrations across the state, legislative updates, and more. As with the resource library, you can filter results by topic if you're interested in a particular subject matter, or search the entire blog for a specific post. We hope many of you will be interested in guest blogging for us. We would love to feature a day in the life of a Link Learning practitioner and to share student voices and stories as well. And we welcome any upcoming events or announcements of relevance to your colleagues across the Link Learning field. Hopefully you're catching a theme here, which is that the Link Learning website is a resource for the entire Link Learning ecosystem. And we want it to be as reflective of you and your work as it can be. So with that in mind, let's open the floor for some dialogue. What's on your mind? Feel free to submit questions via the chat box. And if you wish to ask a question by phone, click the hand icon with the green arrow next to it. When it's your turn to talk, we'll call on you and unmute the line. As we wait for questions to roll in, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through a couple of key pages just so you get a broader flavor of the kind of content that you will find on the site. This is a student outcomes page, key findings.
And I'll jump in here, Megan, too. You know, and again, this is intended, we know we just shared out, there's a lot on the site. Please do take a closer look at it. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you do have any comments, ideas, questions, where we really do want this to be a tool for you all. And so, you know, just in the spirit of not belaboring anything, again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We consider each of you especially just really close thought partners in this work. And again, welcome your ongoing thoughts and contributions to the website. And really hope to continue this dialogue on an ongoing basis. I can be reached at rachel@linkedlearning.org, rachel@linkedlearning.org. And when you close out of the webinar, there will be a brief survey that'll appear on your screen. So please just take a moment to fill it out. Your input really does inform everything we do at the Alliance. And with that, I just wanted to extend my gratitude and thank you again for ending your day with us. Have a nice evening.